You know, most people think intelligence means having all the answers. They picture the absolute loudest person in the room, the one who instantly raises their hand, the one who literally never seems to hesitate. But it doesn't actually work like that. The smartest people you know are often incredibly quiet about it, mostly because real intelligence just doesn't look the way we've been taught to expect.
So if you've ever felt a little, well, different, maybe you've always felt like kind of the weird one in your friend group or just slightly out of step with how everyone else processes the world, stick around. Today, we're breaking down 5 psychological signs that you're actually way more intelligent than you give yourself credit for. And we're backing this up with real research, not just random internet lists. By the end of this explainer, you might realize you've been vastly underestimating yourself this whole time. Let's dive in.
Sign number 1, the paradox of doubt.
Now, you'd naturally assume a highly intelligent person is just supremely confident in their brain power, right? But ironically, one of the absolutely clearest indicators of a sharp mind is actually doubting your own intelligence. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, but in reverse. The standard effect is where people with very little knowledge wildly overestimate how much they know. The reverse effect, though, that's the phenomenon where the more you know, the more intensely aware you become of exactly what you don't know. It's like your expanded horizon suddenly reveals all of your own blind spots.
So while less competent people consistently overestimate their abilities, because, they lack the context to even realize they're making mistakes, highly capable people frequently underestimate themselves. And the crucial takeaway here is this: if you constantly question whether you're smart enough, that questioning itself is a scientifically backed signal that you actually are. That hesitation isn't a lack of intelligence, it's a direct byproduct of it. Moving on to sign 2, the introvert's advantage. Evolutionary psychologists have uncovered a truly fascinating relationship between how often people socialize and their reported life satisfaction. For most people, a higher social frequency generally correlates with a higher life satisfaction. That makes perfect sense, right? But for highly intelligent people, the data completely flips. It shows a total inverse relationship. Highly intelligent people actually report lower life satisfaction when they socialize frequently. They often thrive the most when they step away from the crowd. As this perfectly summarizes, solitude isn't avoidance. It's often where deep thinkers do their best processing. So if you would rather skip a loud, crowded party to just read a book or tinker with a hobby, it doesn't mean you have some sort of social flaw. You're simply seeking out the quiet, distraction-free environment that your brain actually requires for complex cognitive processing. Your mind literally needs that empty space to connect the dots. Okay, sign number 3, mastering delayed gratification. You're probably familiar with the famous marshmallow test, right? The one where a child waits alone in a room, doesn't eat the first marshmallow and gets 2 later? Well, for decades, we just thought this was a pure test of willpower. But modern analysis shows it's actually a profound cognitive ability to model future outcomes. The ability to sit with discomfort at minute 1, skip that immediate reward at minute 15, and model a significantly better result years down the line, that requires immense forward thinking. It takes serious mental energy to build a vivid model of a future that doesn't even exist yet, and then weigh it against the very real, very tempting present. Honestly, most people just skip this step entirely. Sign 4, adaptability over certainty.
Now, when confronted with facts that completely challenge their worldview, rigid thinkers will almost always cling to being right. Why? Because their opinions are tied directly to their identity. But intelligent people, they behave entirely differently. They willingly update their beliefs when new evidence appears, even when admitting they were wrong is deeply uncomfortable. They prioritize an accurate understanding of the world over that temporary kind of hollow ego boost of never making a mistake.
Look at it this way. Changing your mind isn't weakness, it's cognitive flexibility. If you've ever felt insecure about changing your stance on a topic because you were worried someone would call you a flip-flopper or inconsistent, let this sink in. Safely detaching your ego from your current knowledge base to pivot when better data arrives, that is the ultimate sign of an advanced, flexible intellect. And finally, sign 5, the complexity of comedy.
Believe it or not, research directly links verbal intelligence to a highly sophisticated sense of humor. Why? Well, because jokes require some serious mental gymnastics. To instantly get a clever pun, use sharp wordplay, or subvert an expectation right on the fly, you have to quickly produce and weave together some pretty complex ideas. Most importantly, it demands holding multiple, often conflicting meanings in your head at the exact same time. It's basically a high-speed collision of ideas, and only a sharp mind processes that collision fast enough to find the punchline.
So, if you've ever felt like the weird one for overthinking a simple problem, for really needing your alone time to recharge, or even for hesitating before speaking because you realize just how much you still don't know, that is absolutely not a flaw. That is not you falling behind. That might just be your mind working exactly the way a sharp, highly evolved mind is supposed to. Your quirks are features, not bugs.
Now, I really want to hear from you. From the paradox of doubt to the introvert's advantage to complex humor, which of these signs hit closest to home for you? Please drop a comment below. I absolutely love reading through them, and I do read every single one. It is always so fascinating to see how these psychological concepts play out in your real lives.